Hello and welcome to not exactly a tutorial, but a little showcase of different types of bridges in Minecraft at least. Pretty much every bridge is in their kind of traditional style, in the sense. Pretty simple. First of all, we have also I'm just gonna go over some like pros and cons, blah blah blah. Mostly just I wanted to build some bridges, blah blah blah. It's whatever. We have the Arch Bridge, pretty much historically the oldest bridge, pretty much. Um, it really doesn't need any real like technologically advanced materials. As you can see, most arch bridges are usually stone. Some modern arch bridges do use steel, mostly because they travel farther distances, but probably super like the most reliable, but major flaw is just because of the construction. It's pretty complex and it takes more effort than normal. As you can see, I use some like mossy cobble, mossy stone just to show because mostly it's in water. Blah blah blah. I think it looks pretty good. I had to kind of like figure out what to do with this one because I didn't want just straight blocks. Blah blah blah. I don't know why I keep saying blah blah blah. I just need filler word and I don't want them to use like because that's unprofessional. Anyways, next up we have the Tide Arch Bridge. Same same principle as the Arch Bridge, as it uses arch to distribute stress, but instead of using compressive strength, it uses tensile strength. Um, again, like mostly industrial settings, just because steel cables, you know. I think it looks pretty good. It can be scaled up, but to a point. Usually, you just have to add another arch or cantilever, which I didn't add here mostly because I didn't really want to do it. It wasn't too much effort, but more annoying to build just because of the weird angles. Um, Here next up we have the cable stay bridge. I kind of just like ran out of room over here. I could have extended it, but oh well. This doesn't really look like what it's supposed to look like, but you can just imagine multiple like these struts with oops with just wires, and as you can see, they're individual from each other. So some some cable stay bridges they can make curves and they go insane distances, mostly just because of how individual it is. Not individual, but yeah. Just small complications with the construction, mostly because again, well, it's difficult to build any bridge, but yeah. Next up, the good old I was blanking. The suspension bridge, probably my favorite looking bridge out of all of them. I think it looks pretty nice. It's well, obviously, I didn't want to do like Golden Gate Bridge orange, but copper I thought looks pretty good. Kind of like how I put these like little poster here. Honestly, I like this entire world mostly because this is the first time I've been using commands to build stuff. As you can see, it's again similar. It uses tensile strength again, like um, Tide Arch Bridge, Cable Stay Bridge. They all use tensile strength to support the actual road. Except this one, if you can imagine just a massive, like I'm talking enormous concrete block, taking the pressure from here. It's more obviously it doesn't look like it, but as a structure, it has the same sort of um how do I explain this? It has the same like I don't know how to explain it. I'm looking at my script, but Oh, no. Okay. No, sorry. Whatever, but, um, essentially, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I was blanking there. I looked at my script, and it compared it to itself. I don't know what I was thinking, and I proofread it, whatever. Here we have, the beam bridge, simplest bridge, really don't need any sort of, um, technologically advanced components, mostly concrete. I made it like this looks kind of like industrial, and that's mostly just because usually elevated highways and stuff they're just beam bridges. There's no point if it's not over water or at least not high elevation over water. There's really no point to make it like a suspension bridge or something. Um, it is actually really efficient. It doesn't need any fancy materials, but and it makes curves. And best thing about the beam bridge though is that obviously you can make any bridge other than the tensile. Okay, let me just gather my thoughts. I don't think there's any singular bridge other than maybe the truss bridge that can change the elevation. Like they all have to be flat, or else the structure just collapses on itself. Um, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. And then the my personal favorite, the truss bridge, mostly because it's really efficient, extremely structurally sound. And I remember I did this one science project fair where I made different types of bridges. Kid you not, like after I did the test, I think it went up to like maybe 5 pounds, not 5 pounds, like 14,000 grams. That's how much weight it held. And then I told my brother to sit on it. And if you think about it, it was out of like 0.25 inch like wood dowels. It held up 100 pounds. The only reason it actually collapsed was because the hot glue like gave out. It was insanely strong. Um, but yeah, these are just different types of bridges. In different styles. Obviously, the truss bridge, beam bridge can be put in really any style, mostly because of how technologically simple it is. Truss bridge and cable stayed bridge, I think, personally fit in really nice industrial settings. State arch and suspension also work in cities or industrial, but I think they look better in like metropolitan areas. And then arch can honestly be in any sort of setting. Again, just because of simplicity. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining me, and I will. Damn, I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.